You've all heard of the evil, hook-handed hate cleric Abu Hamza, the terrorist scumbag allowed to prowl the streets of London, preach at mosques and live in a £1 million council flat. Well, meet Rangzeeb Ahmed. So this guy was Osama bin Laden's top operative in Europe. He was convicted of directing terrorism. He was jailed in 2008 for plotting mass murder and was caught with a book of terror contacts written in invisible ink and a rucksack that contained traces of explosives. It's emerged that this guy has received almost £1 million in legal aid, reportedly, and could now, are you ready? Yep. He could be a free man by June because he's taken part in a de-radicalisation class and now he's up for parole. Do we remember how de-radicalisation classes have gone in the past? Usman Khan managed to convince everyone that he was no longer a rabid jihadi. He stabbed 2 young people to death. In the wake of that, convicted terrorists who'd been released were made to sit lie detector tests. Can we guess what happened? 4 of them were immediately sent back to prison because, shock horror, they hadn't really been de-radicalised. Should we just take a little look at some of Ahmed's back catalogue? Well, according to reports, he was arrested in Indian Kashmir, allegedly fighting for the group Harkat al-Mujahideen. In jail, he was reportedly sent money by Syed Omar Sheikh, the British extremist who went on to murder the journalist Daniel Pearl. After spending 7 years in an Indian jail without charge, he was eventually set free in May 2001. Now, he was born in Rochdale, but split his life between Lancashire and Pakistan. His brother said that he used to keep a kitchen knife under his pillow and essentially described him as behaving like a complete lunatic. He apparently went back to Pakistan to, quote, further his career as an international terrorist. He was eventually sent to prison in Britain, and in 2021, a previous parole attempt was dismissed after he falsely accused prison guards of being racist after they ordered him to obey COVID social distancing rules. In 2020, a damages claim he brought against MI5 and MI6 for colluding in his torture by Pakistani intelligence was thrown out. In 2019, he moaned when his MP3 player was confiscated, despite apparently it being against Sharia law. He tried to get a £45 a week job in a prison-based call centre. Prison bosses have also blocked his bid as well for working in the old cafe area, so he apparently was furious that he was denied a job baking cakes and pizzas for inmates. As recently as September 2022, he was deemed to be too dangerous for release, but now he's gone through a de-radicalisation programme, and maybe he's OK. Now, if anybody from the parole board thinks that Osama bin Laden's main man in Europe will ever be safe to walk the streets, then I think they need to be sent for a head scan. Now, a lot of these jihadi lunatics seem to be desperate to meet their maker, don't they? Why don't we just help them get there in some cases? When it comes to some fanatical Islamists, I think we should be more in favour of execution instead of parole.